we live in Ohio, and you're really not supposed to plant until like May the 5th. Plant some of these tomatoes in end of January and February because we're trying to have crop for farmers markets in June. So this is a non-heated hoop, probably, I don't know, 30 by 70. And I'll tell you what we invent. I don't know if we invented it, but it works. It works great. So if you don't have a heated hoop house, we figured out that the temperature difference in the morning is about 5 to 7 degrees. We had a couple holes, so we're going to say 5 degrees. So if it's going to be the low in the morning, usually 4 to 5 is where you're worried. Let's say it's 35. Well, in here it'll be 41. So add 5 degrees to it. Well, that's not enough because this whole last week, we're trying to catch up. We have a lot of gardens. We have like 8 gardens. So we got to get this thing done in 2 weeks and move on. And so we can't wait. And so what we did is we got these 55-gallon drums and we filled them with water. And if you see over here, there's a heater. These are about 40 bucks, 30 bucks. Okay, and those actually fit in these water. These are barrels. They're not rain barrels. We can't afford real rain barrels, so we get them from car washes and donations, and we like these here. We wash them, and so what we're doing is we're heating them up. It takes about 4 hours. We don't have any power here, so we use a generator. We got a little Honda generator that's 3,000 watts. So we only have 2 heaters because each is 1,500 watts, and it takes about 4 hours to heat up from 70 to 110 or 100. We're good at 90 and up because we found out that if your temperature is 90 to 100 and it gets down to 38 and you leave at normal evening hours, by morning the temperature in that tank is still 70 instead of the coming from underground, which is like at 50, right? 45 and 50. So I've got these 2 tanks here filled because I'm going to add them over to here. Now, what we're also doing is we're using gravity. We have a pond, and we're working. That's a whole nother project, and we'll get into that. We're going to pump it into a pool, and then we're going to treat it, and then pump it to a pumping station, then pump it to these. So there's going to be 10 barrels on this structure I made, and for every foot of elevation, you get 1 psi. So we're using drip tubes, but we're taking out the drips because those are for high pressure. So we just got holes, and we got a hold of some stuff that came from Saudi Arabia, and we're going to try that on this side. We'll talk about that in a whole nother video, but these are drip tubes that we removed the ends at, so just kind of drips. And you got to seal some drip holes and add a few. And so what we do is each row we're going to do there's going to be 150 plants on this quarter, so there's 4 quarters in the center, so there'll be 600 on the sides in pots. So right there you're looking at 1 quarter, or you could say we're going to do total of 6, so 1/6, but just let's call them quarters because these will be pots. So there's 2 heaters, water heaters, and we cover them with it's like a transparent type of paper, and it adds another 1 or 2 degrees and keeps the soil cooler. So between these 2 tanks at 90 degrees, this agra, and if it gets below 35, we put plastic on top of this. So we try to keep our temperatures in the 40s, and so that's the whole idea. So these actually are making it. We've had about 6 to 7 days now of temperatures in the evenings down to about 40, 41, 39, 37, and nothing's dying. Some of the ivy type plants like cucumbers are suffering. So now what we're doing is here's our structure, and that is 5 pallets. And I'll show you what we're doing. This is the inside this is called the gravity watering system. And somebody hit this wall here with a tractor, so our wall isn't level. But look outside, you'll see that we have these elevated. So these are tiered. There's going to be 5 sets of 3. So the first set is up like 4.5 feet and keeps dropping down. And we have another video of the outside. This is our outside garden. But anyways, back into the greenhouse. So then what we do is we heat these heating elements in the tanks. There's one here, and we're going to do at third point. So there's 2 on this side. There's 2 tanks here full of water, and I've got a pump what I'll do is pump the water. You have to have a lot of pumps. This is a transfer pump. Then we have a sub pump because we have low spots in this place. So when it rains, we got to pump it out. So we got three. We're going to have three sub pump areas. There's one over here I started, and when we water, there's going to be 10 gallons here, 10 55 gallon drums. So you're talking, 10 times 55 gallons, right? 600 gallons of water, and it's going to leak onto this non-permeable mat and puddle somewhere. So we're going to collect that puddling water and pump it into a container so we could kind of reuse it. So right now, today, I'm working this. Hopefully I'll be to the end. These are all the plants I'm moving to this side, and then that'll free up and we'll start working on that side next week. But we're trying to get this whole greenhouse done by May 1st so we can start working outside. So a generator is very important. It's a 3,000 watt, so that's all I get. It's enough to run a bunch of stuff, and it also can run 2 heaters. So if you're doing the heater thing and you're only getting 2 at a time, if you got a lot, you're going to need more generators, because each one of those heaters runs at 1,500 watts, which is a lot. Okay, that's what one of them looks like. If you don't want to spend money, you can make your own with water heater ones, but it's got to fit in these little holes. So make sure you check it out. Here's our inside look. I calculated 5, but putting 5 in a row is unstable, so I'm kind of screwed. I'm gonna have to double up another platform here because I need 10, because I have 5 rows. 1 end row, 2 center rows. So hey, thanks for coming on. I'll keep you guys updated. We're hoping to have tomatoes in June.